What?
What?
What is it?
Hello?
The most unsettling nights outdoors are often the ones that leave behind evidence without explanation. A strange light vanishes into the fog, while elsewhere, someone enters a campsite unnoticed and leaves behind a disturbing message. How much can happen around you before you even realize you're not alone? On April 19th, 2022, the YouTube channel Hannah Barron recorded an ordinary job that changed unexpectedly. Along a quiet country road, Hannah and her father were moving heavy equipment over a small bridge. No hurry, nothing unusual.
Yeah, Dad went to town, took my truck to rent a trencher, like a ditch witch, and on the way back, the trailer got to acting all funky, so he slows down, thankfully, and it comes up off the ball. It was hooked up correctly, sit down on it, all that good stuff, and broke the safety chains, dented my tailgate, and stopped in the middle of the road. And then before Daddy could get out of the truck, it rolled off the road, off a bridge, and now it's laying in a creek. There's no water or anything hardly on this road, and he found the only creek on the way home for this thing to come off the trailer, the perfect spot, come off the trailer, and the whole thing rolled off in the creek. So now we brought the Lil down here to get this thing out of the creek. You might as well laugh about it. Ooh, I got that. We were just cleaning it for you. Oh, gosh. Yeah. And you can see where it skin up the pavement when it come off the trailer. And then it just rolled down and...
Need a new one of these on here. Yeah, because it come off right there.
Without warning, the trailer separated. The hitch gave way, the load shifted forward, and seconds later, the equipment landed in the creek below. The video captures the aftermath marked pavement, twisted metal, and a recovery operation that needed heavy machinery.
Good morning, y'all. Throwing in a little disclaimer here. We figured out that it was a wore-out tongue on the whole trailer, so it wasn't really anything we did other than the tongue being wore out. Ended up coming off and broke the safety chains, and then dented my tailgate and busted my tail light. And I think my truck took the worst end of all of it because the ditch witch, my dad and my cousin, and some of the folks that work where we rented the ditch witch, they all got out here in the yard yesterday and drained all the water out of the oil and the gas and made sure it was still running good. And then Dad got up at daylight this morning and cut the trench for the water line that he'd, rented the thing for. They just took the trencher back. They hooked it further up on the trailer so it wouldn't fishtail so bad. Hooked up more safety lines just to kind of limp it back up there to their place. Where it was hooked up was a little further back on the trailer, and it was making it fishtail even worse, which probably went into, it coming off.
Hannah later explained that reckless driving was not the reason. The equipment had simply deteriorated with age. An update came the next day. Some results were positive while others were not. Viewers found one detail disturbing. Even experience could not prevent it. If this can happen during a normal job, how many near misses are never seen? On October 30th, 2025, the YouTube channel The Outdoor Gear Review, known for quiet solo adventures and practical outdoor tests, travels deep into Pisgah National Forest. Luke Madison, alone near Brown Mountain, stops at Wiseman's View, an overlook associated with mysterious lights witnessed for more than a century. As darkness spreads across the gorge, the stillness grows intense, as though the land itself is waiting to be observed.
And we are off, everyone, heading towards the Wiseman's View. And here we are, everyone. We have this city far off in the distance. This certainly complicates things. So the question is, are the Brown Mountain lights lights from the city, lights from vehicles and whatnot? It has been studied by scientists from all around the world, and everybody seems to believe something different. I'm not sure if the camera picked that up, but I did spot a light up in the sky over those mountains over there. It was really just for a second, and then it dissipated. One thing that I find really interesting about the Brown Mountain lights and all that stuff, the Cherokee Indians, they were gone before white people came into the area. But yet, the people who lived here, they saw something. They experienced something too. And to this day, there's not a good consensus of what the lights are. As you can imagine, there's all sorts of theories, including gases coming up from the forest and somehow igniting. Some say it's car lights. It's peaceful up here. Peaceful and quiet. And I'll be honest, almost a little bit eerie. Go out into the middle of nowhere, hang out on the side of a mountain all by yourself for a few hours in the darkness, and then tell me how you feel.
Wind passes through the trees while hours go by without disturbance. Alone at the overlook, Luke finds the quiet and comfortable it feels oppressive, making him aware of how exposed he is.
Down below us is a massive gorge. We are right on the edge of it, on a cliff. It is massive. Certainly dangerous for those who are not prepared to go in there. There are hiking trails that go all over the place. Most of them are in pretty rough shape. It is very common for people to go missing out here. The last person that went missing that I'm aware of was a woman. That was last year or the year before. They found her vehicle at a trailhead, but she has vanished.
As he watches the valley below, he brings up a recent incident. A woman entered this area and was never seen again. In a place so remote and dark, someone can disappear quietly, unnoticed until much later.
Originally, I was going to camp out in this parking lot, but it is so windy. Why don't we drive down the road here and let's see if we could just find a simple campsite to pull off in. Something that's more sheltered than this. I'm in for a warm night, even though it's quite cool out. The heater ran out of fuel at the same time that the alarm went off. That's perfect.
Later, he remains inside the vehicle for warmth as temperatures fall. By morning, the heater switches off at the exact moment the alarm sounds. In these conditions, heat can be essential for survival. Had it failed earlier, the cold might have become dangerous before he ever woke.
I mentioned last night the friend of my father's in that story. I will go ahead and tell you all that now. So when I was young, my dad, he worked at this factory with this other guy, and they became good friends. And they moved out to this area. Him and his wife, they had a daughter, and my brother and I, we would come over, hang out with them, and on occasion we would come out here to this area to do some camping and also to see if we could see the Brown Mountain lights. Now, this couple, after their kid was grown, they separated, got divorced. He became like an official in the town that he lived in. He had a high-ranking position within the administration and all that stuff. He started dating a woman in the office. She had been divorced for 2 years. Her ex-husband, who lived in Europe, found out that she was dating some guy. He flew to the United States. He went to my dad's friend's office and shot him to death. How crazy is that? The ex-husband, the ex-wife, they hadn't spoken in 2 years. They had no connection, no relationship.
During the drive home, Luke shares why the location remains personal to him. A person who once introduced him to the area later died unexpectedly. Even now that memory seems connected to the mountain, certain places can quietly carry painful histories. Some viewers suggest planes, satellites, or military operations, while Longtime residents maintain that the lights travel through areas where nothing should be moving. If the cause is ordinary, why have so many witnesses reported the same unsettling feeling for generations long before they knew what they were supposed to see? The footage comes from Sort of Interesting, UK-based walking and outdoor channel focused on long-distance hikes, wild camping, and solo journeys through mountainous terrain. The channel is known for calm, reflective narration, allowing scenes to feel disturbing through isolation, darkness, and the unexpected presence of other people rather than any clear threat. The video takes place on January 23rd, 2026, in a remote mountain region of the United Kingdom. The hiker sets out alone at about 4:15 in the morning, beginning his climb toward a distant summit through thick fog and severe weather. Visibility is nearly non-existent. Darkness surrounds him with no horizon in sight and no landmarks beyond the narrow beam from his headlamp. As he climbs higher, he remembers previous wild and stealth camping experiences. Most passed quietly, although some included frightening moments involving people moving close by in the darkness. Roughly an hour later, he arrives at a dry stone wall and a stone stile stopping to record the structure.
And out of the corner of my eye, I then snap my head back because I've spotted, in the murky, stormy, rainy, windy weather, I've spotted a light. And you can imagine that I have that moment where the pit of my stomach becomes the most prominent part of my body.
While filming, he suddenly notices a constant light farther ahead along the same route he had just traveled. He searches for a logical explanation, assuming it could be a farmer or someone working early in the morning, and expects they may soon cross paths. He chooses not to activate his brighter flashlight. Instead, he remains still, continues recording, adjusts his equipment, and waits. Nobody arrives. The light vanishes without any explanation.
Happening that I was being filmed. And now in hindsight, I almost feel even more that I was then there for a few minutes talking right to the camera as I...
Later, the incident takes on another possibility. Rather than being the person in danger, he may have accidentally exposed the location of someone else's nearby stealth camp, with a short flash from a phone revealing where they were. After returning to the area in daylight, he discovers one fresh footprint that is different from his own. The nearby stone walls, scattered rocks, and rough terrain offer excellent hiding places for a bivvy or small campsite. No additional evidence of activity is visible. Situations like this reveal how easily people can miss what is happening around them in remote places after dark. With limited light and attention focused in one direction nearby, movement or another, person can remain unnoticed until much later. If you discovered afterward that someone might have been close without your awareness, would you change the way you move, pause, or observe your surroundings the next time you travel alone? This footage comes from Gavin, the creator behind the YouTube channel, Gavin Reads It All, where he usually posts reading vlogs and conversations about books. But on October 17, 2020, Gavin stepped away from his regular content and decided to try something different. He planned a solo camping trip inside a forest, intending to spend the night reading in his tent. What was supposed to be a peaceful experience, surrounded by nature and quiet, soon became unsettling, turning a night outdoors into a disturbing encounter.
Scared. I'm doing this because I am filming a vlog where I will be reading one horror middle grade book, adult book. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to cope. It's going to be an all-nighter from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I'm staying out here, and then I will, so I've actually erected my own tent. I've never, put up a tent myself before. It's only a one-person tent. I'll show you how it looks. Flat. And I believe it's going to rain tonight. That is not going to protect me whatsoever. It's going to be fun. Let's have a look inside. This is the inside. As you can see, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect for a very spooky. So I want to get all comfortable and I will explain more about what the night is going to entail. So welcome to my crib. Great. It's absolutely freezing. Absolutely freezing. I've got, a blanket on the ground. I've got another blanket on top. That can't be bothered. It already looks like it's fallen down. It already looks like it's fallen down.
Gavin selected a secluded area inside the woods and set up his tent as daylight began to disappear, leaving only faint light filtering through the trees. The forest seemed peaceful, yet it was filled with the sounds of wildlife coming from every direction. Among those natural noises was something unusual, a distant scream. It did not seem to come from an animal, but because it sounded so far away, Gavin gave it little attention at the time. Earlier, he had mentioned how isolated the area was, and that he had not noticed another person nearby. After entering the tent, Gavin got comfortable and started reading as he had planned, quietly continuing with the evening. Before much time passed, however, something broke the silence and abruptly ended the calm atmosphere around him.
Guys, it's 2 a.m. and I keep hearing noises. I mean, there's a lot of noises going on outside. I don't know if you can hear it. Hello? God, I'm shaking. Is there anyone there? Who do I think I am? Yvette Fielding from Most Haunted. If there's anyone there, please make a noise. It's literally so dark outside, I don't even think you would be able to see. Where the fuck is it? It was right there. What the fuck was it? Nope. It's 2 a.m, I'm out. I'm fucking out. I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. Goodbye.
At roughly 2 a.m., Gavin began hearing strange sounds outside the tent. The noises were slow and deliberate, almost as though someone was moving just beyond the fabric. His discomfort grew with every passing second, creating the impression that something was standing outside. He carefully opened the tent and pointed his camera into the darkness to see what or who might be there. That was when a doll-like figure appeared, standing motionless in the dark. Before Gavin had time to react, it disappeared. There was no visible glitch or cut. It seemed present for one moment and gone the next, as if nothing had ever been there. Terrified and shaken, Gavin did not wait around. He quickly gathered his belongings and left the location without turning back. Later, while discussing the experience with his audience, Gavin called the night one of the most frightening events of his life, the first time he had encountered something that disturbing. He was unable to explain what he had witnessed, but the recording captured several important moments: the scream heard earlier, the noises and movement outside the tent, and the sudden appearance of the figure. None of those events received a clear explanation. Whatever took place in that forest stayed with him. The questions surrounding the distant scream and the vanishing figure were never answered, leaving Gavin with an unsettling memory that remained long after the night was over. If something unexplained happened near your campsite after dark, would you stay and try to understand it or leave to protect yourself? CJ Faison operates a YouTube channel where he purchases allegedly cursed land and haunted properties, then stays overnight at those locations so viewers can experience them from a distance. On February 14th, 2024, CJ posted footage from a trip with two friends, Chris and Dylan, to the New Jersey Pine Barrens, over 1 million acres of thick woodland, associated with disappearances, and the legend of the Jersey Devil. They had only just completed setting up camp when a man wearing a black hoodie stepped from the tree line and stopped there watching the group.
Huge forest. He said millions of acres, huh? 1.1 million. And we're not really explore for you. So at least we have bathrooms, which is good. We need to go. Spooky Dookies are literally going to have you happen tonight. Spooky Dookies. Watch you go in there.
What is he doing?
Huh? That's what happens on here.
It's a piney. We're gonna die tonight. Oh gosh.
The man then began yelling the same two words repeatedly. Welcome back. He repeated them 10 times. None of the three had ever visited that location before.
Did you see that guy? He kept yelling over there?
What?
He kept yelling. He was like peeking his head around. He was yelling, welcome back. welcome back. He said it like 10 times. I swear to God. You didn't hear him?
No. I was literally doing a merch plug. What's Dylan doing way over there? Oh. Dylan.
Like, can you see the building down there? See there's a pallet leading up over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was down there probably like another 50 yards. He literally was peeking his head around the trees going, welcome back. I was at that far side over there getting wood. I mean, this has got to be the same guy. It's black hoodie.
Did you hear anything, Dylan?
No. All I can hear is the water running down there.
I mean, honestly, he's a little crazy or something, but it was just weird to like.
Are we sure we want to camp right here?
I mean, where else are we going to go?
Not here. There's some whack job walking around the wood.
I don't know. He's down there.
Where? Huh?
I don't have my glasses on. I can't really tell. He was down there, though. The
So,
road goes straight back.
so the building behind the pallet, is that what you're saying?
Like way back. Yeah, back there.
Okay.
They kept watching him through the trees. He slipped behind a building, leaned out long enough to make eye contact, then disappeared from view again. No one approached him. No one understood what he wanted or why he was saying, "Welcome back." Not long afterward, every bird in the nearby trees suddenly took flight together and vanished into the darkness.
Oh! Guys, are you up? Dylan, Chris? Oh. Guys.
I don't know.
Bro, you look like Marv off Home Alone. Can you get up? I'm hearing shit out here for real. It's like weirding me the fuck out right now. Chris. Wake up.
At 2:30 in the morning, CJ woke to footsteps slowly circling his tent. Then, something hit the outside of the fabric with enough force for him to feel the strike from inside. He woke his friends. Together, they stepped outside to inspect the clearing. At the center of the campsite, tied to a post that had not been there earlier, was a balloon. 2 words were printed across it, "Welcome back."
You guys aren't coming for real?
I can't run. What if there's like somebody up there for trap?
You guys just stay here then. What the fuck is that? I don't know. No fucking way.
What? What?
What is it?
It says welcome back. I
What
swear
is
to my
it?
fucking life it says
What
welcome
is
back.
it?
It's a fucking balloon. It's tied to a post that says welcome
There's no
back.
fucking way. Where'd it come from?
I don't fucking know.
There was nothing there earlier.
I can show you the footage. It's a fucking balloon. It's like tied to this thing. It's like moving. There's no air moving. There's like nothing moving. And it says welcome back on the balloon. I swear.
None of them remembered seeing it while setting up camp. None could explain how it arrived or who placed it there while they were sleeping. They quickly packed their gear and left without turning around. The balloon had not simply blown into camp, it was secured in place. Someone would have needed to enter the campsite, tie it there, and leave without waking anyone. Whether it was the same man they had seen earlier, or somebody else remains unknown. So, who do you think was responsible for putting it there that night? Jasko is a YouTuber focused on creepy and horror-related content, bringing viewers into locations where most people would never choose to be alone. On this night, he traveled there by himself and slept inside his van in one of the country's most haunted forests, a place connected to 9 officially recorded missing persons cases across 50 years. Reports of mysterious figures disturbing solo campers and abandoned personal items discovered along trails, with no clear explanation for how any of those belongings had ever ended up there.
I'm going to be camping inside of my van, inside of one of the world's most haunted forests. People have reported hearing footsteps circling around their campsites late at night. Familiar voices, like loved ones, coming from deep within the trees. They would go and check it out, but there's no one there. That also ties into some of the disappearances that happen inside of this forest. And all that's left behind is some of their personal belongings. And I want to say something. Tonight, I went down some trails, some hot spots, if you will, and I've come across some personal belongings myself. I found some identification. You guys are about to see that right now.
While hiking alone along a trail, he discovered a hollow tree. Personal belongings had been placed inside. Among them was a genuine passport apparently abandoned without any obvious reason for leaving it there. Jasko reported the discovery to authorities.
It wasn't here too long ago. I mean, the snow's like frozen. Okay, so that's a jacket. That's a shoe. I don't know what the hell that is. Let me see if there's any sort of like identification. I just gotta see. Falling. Transit. In there. I do not want to be stuck in here. Oh, what is that? Prostitute? Where? I mean, first and foremost. I hear a voice. Hello? God, bro, this is a real passport. Like an actual real pet. Do I have to report this? Okay. I'm gonna go back to the van and I'm gonna call this. Obviously, this is isn't like a driver's license. Like, you could do a lot with someone's passport.
But no one contacted him afterward. Later, while still inside the parked van, he performed a countdown ritual by flashing the headlights 10 times into the darkness. A device he was using started generating words. One message referred clearly to witnessing a murder directly ahead.
There's one last one. Spirits, demons, ghouls, goblins. If you want to show yourself in 1 minute, please come forward. Show yourself in front of my vehicle. What the fuck? What the hell is that? Hold on. But it sounded like something was like hitting above the damn van. This even fell the fuck. What the hell? Okay, is it not weird that this hasn't said a word? Is there anybody here? Use your energy at 10:20 and show yourself in front of the van.
Site of a murder.
Site of a murder?
Almost immediately afterward, a scream came from somewhere deep among the trees below him. Jasko remained completely still and refused to use the headlights again.
Oh, what the hell was that? Bro, that was a scream from down there. It just said site of a murder. What?
Eventually, he stepped outside and walked alone along the road. Then he heard footsteps crushing through the snow close behind him.
If there's anyone in this forest right now, show yourself when I turn my flashlight on. 3, 2, 1. Oh, what the fuck was that? Oh my God. All right, I'm just gonna back up slowly. That didn't sound friendly at all. What the? All right, guys, I'm heading back. Because like, shut the fuck. Oh, I need my light on. No. On my life, I just heard like behind me, like in the snow. Man, okay, so I just heard it again. Like, it was like a few footsteps, but I heard it like crunching in the snow.
Whenever he stopped, the sound stopped too. When he moved again, the footsteps returned. He turned quickly and searched the darkness with his flashlight but saw nothing. He continued toward the van while the footsteps followed him until he reached the door.
Weird. So when you hear fucking crunching footsteps behind you, you start second guessing. And you're okay. I know you guys hear that. There's no way the mic's not picking this up. Is there anything behind me? I can't see. I don't want to turn around. I'm not. All right, we're just gonna head back to the van now. I don't know if I summoned some shit. I don't know if I played a part in this whole thing with the ritual stuff. I don't know.
At around 3 a.m., he went outside one last time before trying to sleep. That was when he noticed a deep cut in one of the tires. Tracks in the snow formed a path from a nearby trail directly to the tire before turning back toward the trees. Someone had come close to the van while he was sitting inside and damaged it without making enough noise for him to notice. He contacted emergency assistance, but no crew arrived until 7 in the morning. The cost was more than $1,700. For another 4 hours after making the call, he stayed alone in the dark forest, waiting for help to arrive. The passport, the following footsteps, and the damaged tire all happened at separate times, with each incident occurring closer to Jasko than the one before it. Whatever was outside seemed to reduce the distance throughout the night. The final question is whether it truly stopped once he managed to drive away that same night.
So I went outside, and at the same time, I was like, while I'm out here, before I officially like go to bed and hopefully just wake up for the last time, right? I want to make sure this place is safe. Do a little perimeter check. And there were footprints everywhere. Are all of these mine? But then I was thinking to myself, earlier in the night, there was footprints leading in a million different directions. While I was doing my business, I heard a very weird noise. It was very distant at first from where I was standing, but I heard, and I was like, what is that? To my van's driving side tire, and there was a gash in my tire. There was footprints leading up to the tire from a trail. I tried to think logically about things. Is it possible that I ran over a very pointy rock? I went back into the van immediately, and I made an emergency call. The other company with the wrecker was able to come out.
Strayed Explorer is a YouTube channel centered on paranormal investigations and places with disturbing pasts. On March the 6th, 2026, the creator posted footage from a solo journey into a remote forest in Wales, a back road he had explored once before. During his previous visit, screams had come from the tree line. That experience was not enough to keep him away. He returned and camped even nearer to the place where the sound had originated. He had only begun walking down the road when he stopped.
Is this mic on? We're too close to this water. I don't know if you're going to have heard that. I've just heard someone whistle on my right. Thing is, we looked earlier, you can't get in there from here unless someone's already in there.
A whistle came from somewhere within the tree line on his right, a section dense that he could not enter from where he stood. Whoever produced the sound seemed to be inside before he arrived.
Whoa. Someone's broke a stick. And again. There's something breaking sticks up there. Hello? Whoa! Whoa! Shit! No! This.
He continued farther in. Branches began breaking ahead of him, first one, then another. Nothing came into view. The noises kept changing location. Then the forest became silent. Moments later, a sound burst from the darkness ahead, something he described as a human voice in extreme pain rather than an animal. It echoed against the hillside and returned from every direction at once. He could not identify where it began.
Fuck this. Holy shit. What the hell was that? That sounded like a man in agony. I swear there's people out here. There's something. Or someone or people. I don't know what the hell's going on out here, but I do not like this one bit.
He ran and kept moving until the road appeared again. The screaming did not follow him. It did not end either. Instead, it seemed to retreat deeper among the trees before fading away. That part of the forest had no entry point from his position yet. Something was inside already. The scream afterward sounded close, directionless, and human. So, what exactly had arrived there before him? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story. Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.